you've brought the Flexjet checkbook to NBAA. You've just announced an order for 1.4 billion with Embraer. Take us behind the reasoning behind that order.
Sure. Well, so Ali, we've been a customer of Embraer private jets since 2003. Actually, I think we were the first significant customer for them when we bought the Legacy 600s. We also committed early to the Phenom 300 and started taking delivery of them in 2010, and of course the Legacy line about 3 years ago. The Legacy 450 for us has been a fantastic mid-sized airplane. We're winning almost on every transaction, particularly against the Latitude, which we feel the Legacy 450 is a superior airplane to that. So this was just a recommitment of both the Phenom 300s, which will be the mainstay of our light jet line, as well as the evolution to the Praetor, particularly the Praetor 500, which will be the evolution of our Legacy 450 program. So,
and Embraer announced the deal last year. Their launch of the Praetor.
Yes.
Were you close to buying it then?
Well, we certainly have been in ongoing conversations with Embraer. As you can imagine, as one of their more significant customers, if not their largest customer, we were either number one or number two. They kept us very much in the loop behind the scenes on what their plans were, and so we've been talking to them for quite some time. But we felt like that this was the right time for us to recommit in a big way to them and to the airplanes.
Okay, so last night, you announced an order for 12 of Gulfstream's new aircraft.
Yes.
Take us behind that.
Actually, 16. But I wanted you to have your facts correct. So, Gulfstream has been, for us, we wanted to be in the large cabin program. It fits in with our long-term plans. You know our plans. We were in London last week with the opening of the Flexjet office in Mayfair. So we started down the large cabin program with G450s and then G650s. And so for us, the G700 at this point, we feel like is the ultimate large cabin aircraft that will carry us through for many, at least a decade or so. And it just made some sense for us to be the sort of the flagship of our Red Label program in Flexjet.
And so for the G700s, will they mainly be used for the charter market, or will you be selling?
No, not at all. We're thinking that this will be for our fractional lease and our days-based program. So I don't know if you know, but Flexjet launched a days-based program specifically on the G650s for customers that are based in New York and in London to start. We have some plans perhaps to expand to San Jose. And what we're trying to do there is the model is more like a whole aircraft ownership, because really the cost of that aircraft isn't in the operating cost. It's really the access to an expensive product. So to the extent that you want to access it for a day, to fly an hour or to fly 10 hours, it's the same price. It's sort of a days-based model. Very interesting, but it will be part of all three offerings.
And you're buying significant amounts of aircraft.
We are.
At a time where, to many people, it feels like the global economy is slowing down.
Yes. So, a couple things. Number one is we look at market statistics. Fractional flying year to date this year is up somewhere between 5 and 6%, where most of the 135 market is relatively flat. So I like to say that the sharing economy, which everybody talks about, is the new thing. Essentially, fractional's been around for 3 decades in a sharing economy. And secondly, I'm almost 20% ahead of plan year to date at Flexjet. So I know that everybody is cautious, as we should be, but I think the way that we've outlined our plans have been very thoughtful, and we're making decisions on not next year, but really for the next decade or so. And we feel very good about what we're doing with our Red Label program, and we're picking airplanes that we feel our customers will really enjoy, the best in class. And so we're making very, very long-term decisions here.
And talking about markets, Europe is tough at the moment for everyone.
It is.
And now you're heading into it.
Yes.
You opened your office in London last week.
Yes.
Why now?
Well, it really goes hand in hand. If you want to be in the large cabin business, you need to make sure that you're flying places that people want to go. And of course, Europe is the second largest market behind North America. But I'll tell you, Ali, I think rather than jumping in the deep end with both feet, I think what we've done with our acquisitions as part of the directional family with Sirio in Milan and Private Fly, as well as Flexjet. We've sort of positioned ourselves to be able to take advantage of the synergies of all those organizations. And with Maureen Eugene now as our managing director in Europe, I think what we've done, I'm positive what we've done, is to kind of go into the marketplace in a very strategic way that has us positioned to succeed. And again, long-term thinking.
You've ordered a lot of aircraft. Is it fun, or is it just a grind of negotiating details?
Are you kidding? It's a blast. This is, I tell everybody this, this is the best job ever. You know how dynamic Ken is. I think Ken Rickey is by far the best thinker, the most passionate, the most enterprising entrepreneurial person in our industry. And I know it's a subjective comment, but I believe it in my toes. He's unbelievable. And so, with Ken and I and Mike Rossi and Darnell, we really are the brain trust. And the manufacturers, for the most part, of course, are protecting their positions, but it's still fun. I mean, we're buying corporate aircraft for customers. This is a fantastic business. I think I feel very fortunate and grateful to be in it and to be enjoying work, as they say.
Thanks so much. That's brilliant.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks for having me, man. That's great to see you as always.